When you book a cruise, you expect a relaxing voyage. You picture yourself on a deck chair, smoothly sailing between beautiful destinations with zero stress. But a Tokyo to Seoul itinerary is a physical gauntlet. It demands continuous, high-exertion travel. This chart shows exactly why. On a standard 12-day schedule, you face a solid block of 11 consecutive port days and 0 sea days. Combine that relentless schedule with Japan's severe summer heat, and you risk total physical burnout. Your main problem is allocating energy, budget, and luggage space so you can see the major sites without hitting a physical wall by day 6. The most effective way to survive the schedule is ruthlessly front-loading your logistical friction before you leave home. On a Japan cruise, pre-trip effort and upfront costs are the currency you trade to buy in-country agility and deep cultural immersion. Let's start by looking at the heavy pre-trip investments required before you even pack your bags. You need to schedule your arrival in Tokyo 2 to 3 full days prior to embarkation. Doing this gives you absolute protection against catastrophic flight cancellations, and it buys you vital time to acclimate to severe jet lag. You will have to burn extra paid time off and absorb the cost of Tokyo hotel rooms, but consider this mandatory insurance for a high-stakes trip. This chart plots the return on investment for prep work. In the top right corner is loading a digital suite card. Getting this set up bypasses massive ticketing lines. You just tap your phone at train stations and convenience stores. It does require some upfront tech troubleshooting and preloading funds while you are still sitting at home, but skipping these steps turns your first 48 hours in Japan into an exhausting administrative nightmare rather than an adventure. Your luggage strategy also requires a major adjustment. Standard cruise wear and bulky packing will severely limit your mobility here. Port cities feature steep, uneven stone paving and heavy walking requirements. Specialized footwear is non-negotiable. Pack strictly slip-on walking shoes and downsize to the lightest possible dayback. You will be walking over 15,000 steps a day. Slip-ons also allow you to quickly remove your shoes at temples, traditional restaurants, and dressing rooms, which is culturally mandatory. You also need 3 micro-logistics items on your person at all times: a small hand towel, a personal trash bag, and a dedicated coin purse. Most public restrooms lack paper towels, and you won't find public trash cans on the street. You are expected to carry your waste with you. The coin purse is essential because you will rely heavily on cash-only vending machines to stay hydrated in the heat. Sacrificing fashion choices and large backpacks for strict logistical agility prevents physical friction and embarrassing cultural mistakes. Once you're on the ground, you have to account for the immense scale of the destinations you visit daily. This matrix evaluates port day strategies, ship excursions, third-party small groups, and DIY. DIY and third-party options yield massive cost savings and bypass crowded buses. However, opting out adds the risk of time management. You alone are responsible for returning before departure. But that flexibility is vital when you want to navigate massive historical sites at your own pace, without being dragged along by a group. To survive the full 11 days, you must implement what we call the burnout protocol. This means voluntarily skipping a mid-itinerary port day and staying on the ship. You essentially create your own sea day. You are trading the fear of missing out on a single city for forced physical recovery, plus access to steep discounts at an empty ship spot. Managing your energy early on guarantees you have the stamina to actually engage with vibrant cultural immersions later in the trip. Taking control of your own schedule and knowing exactly when to strategically pause is the only way to survive the physical demand. A Japan itinerary is highly efficient, but you must recognize that the cruise ship is merely a floating hotel, not the main attraction. You have to shed the slow, passive mindset of a traditional cruise and adapt to the immense speed of Japanese infrastructure. This scorecard shows who thrives here. Travelers who arrive early, preload their suica, and pack utilitarian gear get the most out of this trip, yielding massive savings and high mobility. Conversely, travelers expecting a passive, heavily guided vacation will trigger burnout almost immediately. If navigating complex train systems and carrying your own trash sounds like a miserable vacation, you will need to pay the steep premium for ship-sponsored excursions to survive. Ultimately, the effort you put in from your living room dictates the quality of your experience on the ground. Treat this cruise like a logistical expedition rather than a relaxing retreat, and you will ensure a deeply rewarding experience.